Hey, welcome to or back to Growth Rising. I'm Bird. I feel like I should be saying I'm your host, but we've been talking about anything dealing with astrology, and we've been going over the 12 houses in your birth chart. And so to find your birth chart, you can just Google birth chart calculator, calculate my birth chart, anything saying birth chart, and you can get several different websites coming up that will let you basically generate your free birth chart. So you just have to know your birthday, your time of birth, and your place of birth so that you can get it as specific as possible. That the one that's specifically for you, because you can just type in your birthday and the place that you were born and you'll get, where everything was, but you won't know your rising sign. So now, we just finished going over the sixth house, well, the first six houses, and now we're going over the seventh house, which is another love house. And as a lot of people may know, it is ruled by Libra and Venus, and it's the house of relationship and marriage. The seventh house is also, basically where the descendant is, because we have the ascendant and the descendant, and the descendant is kind of what you're attracted to in others, and it can also show what others are attracted to in you. Um, excuse me, I am sorry. Also with the seventh house, it also deals with interpersonal relationships. So it doesn't necessarily just have to only be, a spouse, which I know that a lot of times whenever we, just people talk about the seventh house, it's always like, oh yeah, this is the house of your husband. This is the house of your wife. This is the house of your life partner. Yes, I mean that does have a part to deal with the seventh house, but it's not only that. The seventh house deal with a lot of different other types of relationships. Also, like with your adult children, with business partners, with co-workers, with you know significant friendships. People who are very close to you. Those people who get close to you. That's something that deals with the seventh house. Like I'll use, like myself, for example. With my seventh house, I was actually, like, when I started digging more into astrology, I started to realize that a lot of the people who I have gotten close to, like, even from childhood, like elementary school, have all, either had a sun sign. Well, yes, the majority of the time their sun sign would be the same sign that rules my seventh house. So I just thought that was kind of cool. And it wasn't just romantic relationships that rule. I mean, that this house goes over. It also goes over just people who you get close to. Because honestly, the seventh house also deals with the part of ourselves that we are not as fond of or that we just don't like as much. It's like the part of ourselves that we try to hide. And so that could also deal with why we are attracted to things of our seventh house, or, things, well, not things, but people who basically show that same show those same characteristics that we're trying to hide about ourselves. Because honestly, I mean, sometimes there are just certain things about ourselves that we are more self conscious about. But so whenever we see somebody else basking in it without being so, kind of closed off to themselves, it's like, that's a breath of fresh air. That's cool. I like that. I want to get to know that person more. And they can also help to bring that out of you. Excuse me. But the seventh house also deals with, you know, the pattern of our relationships. I remember seeing, it was a video about someone saying, so am I attracted to the person or am I attracted to the pattern? That's very loosely what they said. I wish that I could remember exactly what she said. I should have looked it up before I started making this video. But she was saying that basically with some of her relationships, she's been attracted to a certain type of pattern. Like, let's say that you're somebody who always finds yourself in toxic relationships. And I'm not going to associate a sign with that because I don't want nobody saying, oh, this sign right here is toxic. No. And honestly, all signs can be toxic or all signs can be non toxic. But anyway, um, let's say that you're the type of person who always find yourself in a toxic relationship where it's break up, make up, or always, coming after somebody emotionally or mentally or gaslighting somebody. And so you leave that relationship and you start finding yourself in that again, not with the same person, but those same exact patterns are happening and over and over and over again. That could be whatever sign that rules your seventh house or whatever planets that are in your seventh house. And no, that doesn't mean that you're going to always go through that. That just could mean that there are certain things that you have to realize. Like, let's say, some stuff that you end up realizing about yourself, that is what you have to work on in yourself so that you don't keep attracting that to you, because like the seventh house, that's the descendant, what we don't always want to show people, stuff that we want to hide about ourselves, stuff that we just kind of a little self-conscious about. We want to, kind of make sure that everybody don't see it. You could also be that toxic person in that relationship. So, like, let's say you are the only toxic relationship that the other person had because of whatever's in you. So, you'll just have to basically dive deep and see what it is in you that you are suppressing so that you can get past that and get into healthy relationships. I know that was like a whole tangent, but um the seventh house also deals with, yes, it does deal with marriage, but everybody don't get married because everybody doesn't want to. So it could also deal with like just your life partner or, people who you like to live with because after so many years or whatever of dating, sometimes even months really, you and your partner might want to live in the same home. So y'all might get a place together. And so, it'll be a lot like marriage. But, so that could also show, well, the seventh house can also show things dealing with that. And I'm not sure if I said this earlier, but the seventh house is ruled by Libra and Venus. And we all know how Libra and Venus are. They're about beauty and love and money and, all of that other good stuff. So, um, just make sure I dotted all my I's and crossed all my T's because I know I went on a little tangent. But yeah, I think that was everything that I wanted to go over about the seventh house because it is more than just marriage and relationships. It's well, that is pretty much what it is, but it's more than just marriage. That's what I wanted to say. But it deals with just more than just a romantic relationship. It deals with basically your significant relationships. Like you might also hear people say a lot about um a business partner, because that is a significant relationship. That's how you're going to make some money or how you are making some money. And you don't want to have a business partner who is going to be stealing from the business because then it's like you shouldn't be my business partner. And also like with friendships, not just any friendship though. I do just want to say that not just anybody who you might be like, oh, this one here is my friend. These are significant relationships in your life, like the people who actually know you. You know how you go to work sometimes and be like, okay, that's my friend at work. Not them. People who are actually your friend at work and out of work. The people who you are actually close to, and let your guards down some with. But yeah, so that is basically what the seventh house is about. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you think, I've left out anything, or if you want to share any experiences of yours, go ahead and comment down below. Have a good one.